What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So Matthew Stafford, starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. His wife, I believe his wife's name is Kelly Stafford. She went on a podcast and revealed a very personal story about their dating life and them coming together as as a couple or whatever. And this story is something I don't believe she should have told at all, right? So she was basically telling the story like when they were in college, she was making Matthew Stafford chase her. I'm paraphrasing. She was making Matthew Stafford chase her. When he was trying to date her, she even dated his backup. She dated the backup quarterback playing behind him to make Matthew Stafford jealous, right? And then she was going to the backup's house, and one day while she was over at the backup quarterback's house, Matthew Stafford saw her car outside, and he came out, and he was waiting on her to come outside, and he stopped her and said, "Hey, what are you doing? You don't need to be with him. You need to be with me," and all of that, right? And she was like, "Oh, it worked like a charm," and all that type of stuff. And she was like, "Oh man," and it really made her mad because the backup quarterback was he was the bad boy type, and Matthew's, basically saying Matthew's a clean cut guy and all of that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you tell this story? Why would you tell this story? You're telling a story about making your now husband, when you all were in college, making him chase you, you dating his teammate, the backup that's right behind him, a guy he's always working next to. You was messing around with him, and to make your now husband jealous at the time, to make him date you. Like, to me, that just, why would you do that? Like that. First of all, a lot of males are ego-driven in general. Your husband has been a starting quarterback in the NFL for over 10 years, okay? Over 10 years. His ego is big. You have to have a big ego to be a professional athlete, especially to be a professional athlete at the level of Matthew Stafford. Why are you trying to tear him down with this story? To make everybody know, hey, I was messing around with his backup, and hey, he still went and got me. That's just, I don't know, man. The decision to share that personal story, I'm scratching my head at that. Why would you want to embarrass him? Why would you want to embarrass him? It's puzzling to me, man. And, this is why everybody don't need to be talking on a podcast. Some folks need to leave podcasts alone. Take some people microphones away. Tell some people, hey, you got to sit this one out. Because she thought she didn't care about telling that story at all. She thought it was no problem. And to me, what are you trying to make your husband the laughing stock of the locker room? Because hell, Matthew Stafford knows this story, of course. But I don't know if he wanted other people to know this story like that. Are you trying to make him the laughing stock? Like, people are looking at him like, what the hell? And they looking at you crazy. Like, what type of woman are you to date and mess around with his backup quarterback? Well, she didn't say she slept with him. But, if you're dating him, a lot of people are like, hey, a lot of times people are dating, not all the time, but most times, sometimes dating includes, most of the time, I'm going to say, I can't give a real percentage, but a lot of times dating includes sleeping with them. She didn't say she slept with him, but dating them and all of that, to me, that just seemed crazy in general. Why are you trying to run around and date somebody that's right next to him at practice? That's in the same, the quarterback rooms, y'all. They studying together. Why would you do that? That just is not, to me, that's not a wifely behavior, even though she did get wifed. So it's just like, man, why are you telling this story what would this do? How would this story benefit your husband? Why reveal this? Why reveal this? This would make him this would embarrass him. And it's making his rounds all over YouTube. Everybody's talking about this. A lot of men would have left you where you was at. As soon as you start messing with his backup, hey man, I'm gone. Bye. Cause like, what type of woman are you that you got to mess around with a guy that I'm working side by side with every day? And some people dismiss it. Oh, it's college. People do college things. In college, everybody does college things. Yeah, but dating my backup, a guy that's working next to me, like that's a whole. Listen, man. People date people in college, but you're dating a guy that I'm working side by side that make me upset. That is just uncouth behavior. You know, but then I thought about this though. Because growing up, I was not around white folks like that. I was not. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Chicago was a segregated city. Black people live with black people. White folks live with white folks. Asians live with Asians. Hispanics live with Hispanics. High school, elementary school, high school, I didn't go to school with white kids. There's probably like 1 or 2 white kids in my high school, right? Then I went to a historically black college, Mississippi Valley State University in Itapena, Mississippi. Went to a HBCU. Graduated from there, and then I went to Arkansas State for grad school. When I was at Arkansas State, this is the first time I'm really, really around white people predominantly. And I'm seeing, you know, how they engage with each other, etc., because you're around them. White people view sex completely different from black people. They do. Like, in college and grad school, I've seen white men date women who slept with their best friend. And they just like, fuck it. It is what it is. I've seen white men date a girl who's been with their best friend and a fraternity brother or 2 fraternity brothers. And one of the other fraternity brothers still date the woman and walk around with her, kiss her in public, and that be his main squeeze. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying black men don't do this too. But we're more ashamed for doing shit like that. You know what I mean? People look at you sideways and skeptical. Like, why would you want to date a girl that messed around with your best friend? Why would you want to date a girl who messed around with two of your fraternity brothers? Why would you want to date a girl who was a known groupie for one of the guys in your circle? You know what I mean? And she was messing with him when he had a girlfriend, and he was doing whatever he did with her all the time. Now she want to be your main squeeze, and you running around holding hands with her, kissing her. Like, black people look at that differently compared to white folks. Like, why white folks? Like, I've said this before. I use Adam 22 for example. Adam, like, is a white man that he runs No Jumper podcast. Adam is setting his wife out to have sex with other men, and they record it and make money from it on OnlyFans and shit like that, right? Him and his wife do pornography scenes together they've done it with another man before and all that. Like, black men, only time black men do some shit like that is when they've been in Hollywood too long and they've been hanging around the elites and doing Holly weird shit, like doing all that stuff in Holly weird. Like, or when he's or if it's a black guy that just hangs around a ton of white people all his life, and that's all he does. Like Dennis Rodman, when he got famous, all he did was hang around a whole bunch of white folks and all that. You know, he'll probably do some shit like that. Black men, we not a woman that we value. If we make you our woman for the most part, we value you. You know what I'm saying? We look at you as something different. You our main squeeze. We would never share our woman with another man. We ain't even letting a man overly compliment our woman. Like a motherfucker say, you know, hey man, if your dude see you with your woman, he say, hey man, it's your woman? Yeah. Oh man, you a lucky guy, man. You a lucky guy, man. We be, hey, motherfucker, watch that shit, dog. That's how black people, hey, watch that shit. Because you keep saying I'm a lucky guy. That means you want to sleep? You want to freak my wife? You want to sleep with my woman? Like, calm that shit the fuck down. We'll do that. A lot of white men probably don't really look at it like that. They look at sex completely different. A lot of white folks I know don't really worry about body counts and shit like that. In our community, that's something we be looking like, hold on now, I ain't being with no girl that been slept with 100 dudes. Now, what the fuck? Hell no. A lot of white men be like, hey, it is what it is, man. It's life, man. Sex happens, you know? So she probably didn't feel no way about telling this story because to her, it's like, who cares? What the hell, you know? And Matthew Stafford probably didn't care, probably that she told the story either. But it's like about protecting your husband and protecting his image, protecting his, well, I would say masculinity, but protecting his image and his feelings and not allowing him to be judged by other people. Even if he doesn't care, leave that story in y'all fucking house. Don't take that to the world for everybody to know. Because he could be getting clowned out in the locker room. People could be looking at him differently, clowning him. And he might not be able to take that type of clowning because he's never experienced it. Especially clowning for your woman doing behaving loosely. You know what I mean? He probably ain't used to being clowned for that, hanging around other white folks like that. Because black folks will clown you for having a loose woman.